From the beginning, we knew the COVID Delta strain was different. It spreads at a more rapid pace and, despite the best efforts of contact tracers, has managed to plunge Sydney into a 2-week lockdown.
New South Wales Agriculture Minister Adam Marshall and 25-year-old Emily Troian are among those who caught this strain of COVID, and they say their symptoms are horrific. They both join us now in Sydney. Nice to talk to both of you this morning. Thanks for your time. Adam, first to you. Can you just describe to us the symptoms that you experienced?
Yeah, sure. It's akin, as I've said, to like being hit by a bus. The first few days was fine, no symptoms, and then suddenly, bang, very severe flu-like symptoms, fevers, freezing cold, shivering, and then sweating, and just sore all over. But for me, the worst impact's just been the absolute sapping of energy, just wanting to sleep all the time. Even the most menial tasks like making the bed or getting up and making a cup of tea is just, feels like you've just been running a marathon and have to lay down for another hour or two. So it's just been quite debilitating and quite eye-opening for me that a lot of people seem still a bit blasé about the impacts of COVID. And I can assure them that it's certainly knocked me for six, and I'm a person in my mid-30s and very, very healthy.
Look, I think that's such a wonderful point to make, given, look, what happened with you last week and the circumstances in which you got this. We're glad that you're okay. What are you doing to deal with it at the moment?
Well, it's getting a little bit better, Karl, each and every day, getting a little bit stronger. Yesterday I managed to get through a whole day without having to have a nap, which for me is small victories. And look, I've got plenty to do. I've got FaceTime, I'm catching up with my partner Shannon all the time, and all my work colleagues and friends, family, and I've got my laptop here. So a little bit of work as well, but trying to get better and rest up.
Emily, you seem to have caught the virus from the same restaurant as Adam. Can you just describe to us how you've been feeling this past week?
Yeah, I'd say it's almost identical to Adam. I feel like I've been hit like a truck as well. My symptoms started really small. It started with a headache and it just escalated into, I guess, having all the symptoms under the sun, especially with nausea and vomiting, which I've been really struggling with. And now I've completely lost my taste and my smell. So, yeah, it's really hit me hard too.
What would you say to people out there? I mean, there seems to be, as Adam pointed out, a little bit of a blasé attitude amongst the community, some elements of the community. What would you say to those people out there who aren't taking the necessary precautions about this virus?
Yeah, I'd say it's not a cold, it's not a flu, it's not influenza A, it's COVID-19. And if it can hit me this hard at 25, it's not something anyone wants. Just do the right thing. Be careful, wear your mask, go get tested when you need to get tested, and just make sure you're protecting your loved ones in the community.
Did it surprise you how, I mean, we look at that pizza restaurant where you both attended, we're assuming that's where you both contracted the virus, of just how easily or how quickly it is transmissible?
Oh, so surprised by it. It was the last thing you think. You were going to pick up meeting with a friend for dinner. My friend also contracted the virus. Yeah, it shocked me. But look, if it's that easy to catch, people really need to be on high alert, and people need to stay home.
Adam, I know that you're in lockdown now, in isolation. When you do look around Sydney, I know that Sydney-siders are answering the call, and I know that they are too in Queensland this morning to get tested, and also some of those vaccinations. But do you think it needs to be tighter, the restrictions, given how easily this thing spreads?
Well, I think the restrictions now are very, very tight. I can't see much of Sydney outside my window. I just see the brick wall of another building. But look, everyone seems to be responding pretty well. I think Emily's point's a good one. People, regardless of the restrictions, people just need to take a lot of responsibility themselves and wear their masks and do the right thing. And I know some people complain and say, oh, gee, some of these restrictions are a bit draconian, but I can assure you that they are there for very good measure. And the last thing you want is to get COVID. You know, as Emily said, she's 25, I'm 35, and the impacts are severe. And in my case, anyway, I never brushed anyone. I came into physical contact sitting in that restaurant. Didn't even go to the bathroom in the restaurant. Wow. So the catching it is very, very easy. This new strain is quite virulent and from first-hand experience, incredibly contagious.
And Adam, had you been vaccinated?
No, unfortunately, I'm ineligible to be vaccinated because of my age. So I'm very interested in the Prime Minister's announcement last night or the other day about AstraZeneca, and I'm looking to get information. Look, I'd be happy to get any jab rather than having to wait possibly until next year, the way it's going to get Pfizer. I think the rollout's been an absolute shambles, to be honest, let's be frank, and we've got to pick up our game, because every time we have major outbreaks like this, we have outbreaks in the context of a community that is almost entirely unvaccinated. And from my perspective, that's not good enough.
Well, you're a walking, talking ambassador for what we should be doing. We appreciate your time, though. Look, we're glad you're both okay, and look, doing the best you can. We wish you all the very best in the coming days and weeks, and we'll come back and talk to you in a little bit. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.